Okay, like I have just said. Oh, let's make some popcorn. Okay, here's still stuff I have to... You know, sometimes you just did the dishes. And suddenly you realize you have to do them again. No, I'm not going to... I'm just trying because today is Monday. And what I learned was that if I push off doing these recordings until the end of the week, then I have less time to focus on the books that I still need to write or that I set myself to write. Which is why what I'm doing now is I'm gonna focus less on, you know, waiting until Sunday so that I can then... So I just want to get these recordings out of the way, possibly then until Tuesday, right? So I have Monday, Tuesday, I can do these recordings. And the rest of the week, all I have to do then... I mean, what's all I have to do? But then what I have to do is write books and focus on being productive. And that's basically then what it is I do. Okay, this we may need. Yesterday I happened to experiment with tea. I put black tea into this. And of course it is completely different than how you would do it normally, which is just heat it up and let it sit for some time. But I don't know, I just wanted to see if this has any value at all. And I have to be honest, when I'm not so sure. I just feel sad to just throw this away. Okay, what I did last time is I made a spice blend. So now I can either take the same pan or I take this one, because it has a bit of thicker what's this thing? Like this is a bit thicker. I used to... What am I trying to express here? I'm sick of living on my own. I think that's what I'm really trying to express here. Okay, first of all, the spice blend. Just gonna put it in here because if I don't use it all, I can close it. Okay, last time I used turmeric. This is extra hot chili powder. I don't want to... I mean, this is also, we're now in autumn. Today is the 28th of October, 2024. This is nutmeg. And I believe this is actually something people use to grate off their, the skin of their feet. But you don't need that if you walk barefoot. And then instead of black pepper, because I have been given a lot of this ground white pepper. Oh wow. Okay, so it's a bit spicy. Could add a bit more turmeric. Okay. And then the salt. It's just like every time you open your eyes and you do something in this world, it's gonna be dirty. Okay, that's basically it. Okay, I'm gonna do this with butter. Probably quite a bit of it. There's always a bit of a haggle between me and this thing, right? Now, the one tricky thing is that you don't want to burn it. I'm just saying, so because this gas, this is the lowest it gets. Last time I just kept it like this at some point. I think with me, what I have with making food is that the pleasure of eating is gonna stop. And then of course always also there is the pleasure of defecation. But I think what we really want is, as men, to be with a woman. You know, it's just intuitive, but you know, it's gonna grow, so. Well, like I said, last time I just put the spices in there. Just gonna do it like this also now. Zack. Because I do like spices. As you have seen. And then we're gonna put a lid on top and just make sure that it simply stays warm. So you see now it's already coated. It also makes it more prone to burning, of course. Yeah, this makes me happy. I mean, making food, even though it seems stupid, wow, it's really hot. So that's what we need. We need food that boosts us. The hard part to me is only that, right, I don't like dependency, but there seems to be a correlation between certain spices and things and the way you feel about life. So now I'm just gonna make sure it's gonna be heated evenly. It's gonna take some time. Plus now you cannot, yeah, you can do like this. You know, I don't know your settings. Maybe you've got, I suppose there are other ways of doing this. It's just a way I figured out now. Just as I simply said, you know, I don't really like my life anymore. So either I can do this or I'm just gonna stop pretending. Right? But there are a lot of people who simply want to still pretend. And I simply said, I have no interest in doing that any longer. I simply want to be as true as I can be. So at least if this puts a smile on my face in the morning, no, I think I can invest myself into this. Because my life is quite devoid of anything. And I work my ass off to be stronger, you know, than yesterday. And I work my ass off, you know, to become a man that can give stability, but if the entire environment that I live in is unstable, you know what I'm trying to say, right? If the entire environment that I live in is completely unstable because they're all depending on the wrong things, you know, it's not the communion of getting together any longer. It's just getting off on the food you eat, the ideas you have. Everybody's just living in some kind of a fantasy. And I'm just not supposed... I mean, am I supposed to know about these things? So you go to the cinema, you buy popcorn. You don't even know if it's real butter. It could be just something that tastes like butter. Just like coffee creamer or whitener isn't really, it's just fat with sugar. It's glucose syrup with fat. That's what coffee creamer is. And you think it's just milk powder. No, it isn't. Well, I mean, you can like the taste. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just not what you thought it was. And it's very bad for your teeth. So one way of eating is simply to get used to food like this. To simply say, I'm gonna learn to make popcorn the way I like to make it. With real spices, with real butter. And then I can, watch a movie with it or have it as my snack for hiking or just eat it for pleasure, whatever. And that's the beauty about it. I can learn to do things my way, but I have to do them. I have to do them. And that's the message. You have to show who you are by simply being who you are. But who really tries that? So this is now an expression of myself. These are the spices that I feel I need. But I also make sure that I don't run around having heartburn or whatever. You may be a completely different type. Maybe you have a lot of fire already. And maybe you need more cooling. So I'm starting to really get interested in green tea. And that has never happened before. Not like this. I tried it some time ago. Wow, this takes longer than expected. Come on. I thought this was supposed to be popcorn. Yeah, I mean, at one point it's gonna pop. I hope. And now this is a nice snack. Let's say you've got visitors. You know how to do this. And now this is also training, of course. I mean, I barely even feel the weight of the pan. But I'm holding it. Right, so this is the shoulders. This is your neck. This is your hands. This is, in the end, it's your will. So whatever you think muscles are, is in the end just your will. And then just your will turns into, well, that's your will. That's who you are. That's an expression of yourself. Wow, now I'm getting insecure again. Because it's not popping. Interesting. Ah, there, it already started. Just wasn't audible. I suppose it will happen at some point. Ah, now it starts. And popcorn, at one point I thought that popcorn is actually a lot of protein. It's mostly, of course, carbohydrates. It's probably some form of starch, which makes this not a good meal for every day, but more like, maybe like a pick-me-up for once in a while. And I usually eat these things because I know I've got a hard day ahead. You know, and then you eat a lot and then you go for a hike or a walk, or you simply get through the day. I mean, if you're having a really hard time, okay, maybe it would be better to practice holding your breath or something. Yeah, this method is easier to burn because you have the spices already in there. But in that way, it's gonna be all coated in this flavor. Plus, I don't mind a bit of chard. And this is how life used to be. Somebody took care of making the food. You know, you collected it, you made it. I mean, making pap in an African village or community, that's actually an art in itself. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of stirring. And then in the end also the cleaning. Because the pap usually sticks to the bottom. So making food should become an investment. Should simply get better at it. Because slouching off is no longer attractive. You know, being the cool kid that doesn't care is no longer attractive. What women want is men that can hold their ground and that can communicate adequately. And that can simply provide stability. But for that you have to be stable. It's not just about the money. It's about what you stand for in life. Who you are in and out of yourself. So yeah, as a man also, seeking visions, planning ahead are important steps. It's not just about, oh yeah, I want this woman because she'll make me look better. No, it's actually, what woman would you attract if you are simply who you are? And then I'm not sure if You know, I mean, if you work hard and you've got 50 oxen and then you buy the woman, I mean, it's not just about having the woman like a trophy. It's also about the woman wanting you. You know, you want her to want to share your bed. But that's just incredibly hard. Not only is it hard, okay, let's just see. So sometimes when two lovers meet, I feel like they kind of injure each other. And then they get back together. You see, it's a bit burned, but not here. So it may be that, what with all the spices and stuff, but it's nice and spicy. Let's just see if the rest. Okay? Popcorn. Wow. Can eat this with tea. Okay, I had to get that one. Yeah. Wow, it's really spicy, man. Wow, hey! It landed exactly in there. Yeah, that cannot be a coincidence. I'm just gonna put it all in there. How unlikely. So yeah. So maybe I have it all backwards, but at least I could make my own popcorn. Right? And now you can put cheese on it if you want. Put it in the oven. I don't have cheese. And the ones that aren't popped, I mean, it's hard to say if they're gonna break your teeth. But you could sprinkle them on something else. Like a salad with crunchy topping. Okay, I think that's all I had to say in this one. Popcorn. It's really spicy. Okay. You can say, thank you for sharing. Yeah. By this time, I have probably already published a book called The Food I Put Inside My Mouth. No, The Food I Chewed Inside My Mouth. I have been working on this already for some time in my mind, simply by observing myself eating. And at some point I'm gonna funnel it into a book. The subtitle is Eat, Heal, Enlighten. But I first have other projects. And after they're done, I'm gonna write the book about diet. It's probably gonna talk a lot about simply insights I have had in relation to diet, trying to point you towards figuring it out for yourself and then give you some inspiration for recipes. But yeah, I felt like it needs a lot of effort on my part. And with effort, I mean research. How do I feel when I eat what? Because I was getting sick of all this nonsense. No, you have to eat this and then you're gonna get better. No. I have to know what I need. And today, maybe I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go buy tea now. Because this feels perfect. With some gunpowder, green tea or something. Just the question of where to buy it. Okay, maybe put a lid on it. And then cheers.